I got a comment from a young man asking how to deal with severe depression when you're the one that has to be there to help everybody else. Let me give you 5 suggestions. The first one is, if you're having severe depression, don't be afraid to go talk to a counselor. There have been 2 times in my life that I've gone to a professional counselor. One was decades ago when I was struggling with an addiction. Another time was more recently when the weight of employment and family and pressure was building up. Sam, if you're seeing this, then I hope you'll seriously consider getting professional counseling. Severe depression is real and it can be painful, but you can get help with it. One of the challenges of trying to figure out how to be a man, and particularly if you don't have a good male role model in your life when you're growing up, is you feel like a real man wouldn't have these problems. A real man wouldn't be depressed. A real man wouldn't be dependent on anybody else. He'd figure it out himself. That causes you to feel like if you seek help, you've already failed. Let me just give you a hint. That's BS. Everyone's going to need help in their life. Every man is going to need help in his life. That's no different for you. So don't feel like it's failure to go get some help. If you truly need to be there for others, then you got to take care of yourself too. How well can you be there for others if you're not there emotionally, physically, psychologically, and ultimately the worst case scenario is that you're not there at all. Most insurance companies have a mental health benefit. A lot of times you don't even have to pay anything other than a small copay if you go to a professional counselor. Here's the next suggestion. Give yourself a day off. If you need some time to yourself, then take it. You've been on a plane, you've heard the oxygen mask analogy. If there's a loss in cabin pressure, then an oxygen mask will drop down in front of you. Put yours on first and then help somebody else. If you aren't in good shape, you're not going to be able to help anybody else. So you got to take care of yourself. So allow yourself the chance to put your load down for a day or a couple of days. If it means going away for a couple nights camping, go do it. If it means an afternoon off, going to a football game or something that you like to do just for the sake of enjoyment, then go do that. The chances are your family or those that you feel like are dependent on you, they're not going to have catastrophic negative events because you had a half a day or a couple of days to yourself. And in fact, you're going to be so much better when you come back and step back into that role that it's going to be better for them and for you. That load will feel lighter when you pick it up again if you let yourself have a break once in a while. Here's a third suggestion. Write in a journal. It just was back to school time. You can get them for 50 cents each. Normally they're about $1. If you get one of these and write in it, that is almost as good as seeing a therapist. Write about what you're thinking. Write about what you're feeling. And when you just put pen to paper and let those thoughts and feelings come out, a lot of time, that's all the help you need. But you can take it a notch further by doing one more thing. After you've gotten your thoughts and your feelings out on paper, give yourself the best advice you would give somebody else if they were in the same situation you were in. And write it down as part of your journal. What do I really think would be the best thing for me? And then write it down. The fourth thing, there's a book that's going to have a lot of good advice for you. If you haven't read 12 Rules for Life, then I strongly encourage you to get it and read it. Or if you're like me, get it on Audible and listen to it. A couple of the rules aren't directly related to mental health, but a vast majority of them are. So if you haven't listened to that book or read that book, then I strongly encourage you to get that book and read it. The final suggestion I would have for you is remember that there are brighter days ahead. It's not going to last forever. The darkness, the depression, the discouragement you feel doesn't have to last forever, and it won't last forever. There are brighter days ahead. Those of you watching that have been through severe depression, if you've got other suggestions, make sure you put those in the comments. Always remember, you can still succeed, even though your dad may not be in your daily life, and you do have a dad that loves you. And I'll see you on the next video.